Hi everyone, welcome back. Are you ready and prepared for Christmas yet? I'm going to be very honest and tell you that I'm not at all. I've not sent out one card or even a Christmas email yet, nor have I bought Christmas gifts. And my daughter's rather upset because she had not been able to put up Christmas decorations because I decided week before last to paint and decorate the lounge and went to buy orange, pink and dark green paint. Well, at 35 to 37 degrees Celsius, it's hard for me to paint more than one wall at a time. And because we are talking bright colors, we need at least 2 layers per wall. So yes, I'm not finished yet, but I should finish today or tonight. As you may know, I started feeding some township dogs about 2 months ago. The process had attracted a bunch of children. So on Wednesday, we will be handing out some small gifts to the surrounding children. With Dragon Man now being a 14-year-old, 6-foot tall lad, it has become time to clean out his 2 toy boxes. So my daughter's busy making up small parcels, each with a small toy and a sweetie and a packet of crisps. It's really not costing us much. We bought a bulk bag of crisps and 2 bulk bags of sweeties. Everything else we had here at home, but I know that it will bring those children a lot of pleasure. The area is very poor, so poor that the shacks do not have their own ablution facilities or their own taps. The local council do provide 1 or 2 taps and portable toilets, but mostly it needs to be shared. However, regardless of the circumstances, the people are polite, friendly, always full of laughs and grateful for the tiny little bit of help I'm trying to give. On Friday, for instance, I also took some flea spray for the dogs, and on Wednesday, along with the dog food and gifts for the children, I'll also be taking 5-litre bottles of clean water so that for one day the mommies do not have to go and collect water. There's only so much one person can do with limited funds, but every little bit makes a huge difference. I'm also starting a drive to get the people to clean up the environment. So I'm also taking rubbish bags supplied by our local council. So that is it from my life. The next week will be a busy one, all my own fault, because I left it all for the last minute. Okay guys, wish me luck for the coming week. I'll make it through, I always do, somehow. So time for our royal report and not so royal section. I always have such good intentions, but it's like the universe is conspiring against me with all kinds of things. And this time I'm fully distracted by the UFO UAP drone situation in New Jersey and everywhere else. But we'll give you a full breakdown and our opinion in a completely separate video. So on to the royals for now. Now, I have spoken about Prince Andrew many times, and really, although there were many things which made me want to shake the man and smack him into waking up and opening his mouth to defend himself, and because he was so stupid and entitled to think that he could do whatever, and it will never come out. I mean, really? Well, that idea bit him in the arse, didn't it? But besides being ticked off with the man, I'm also starting to feel really, really sorry for him. Come on, guys, hear me out. First, I'm going to read you a small extract from a publication. I think it's called Geo TV or something, but it doesn't really matter because it's all copy and paste articles, so except for the headings, which may differ a bit, The actual articles are all the same, and it is really starting to crack me up, and not in a good ha-ha way. Anyway, let's read the paragraph. Prince Andrew is facing intense media scrutiny after revelations that a close Chinese-British associate of the younger brother of King Charles was thought by the British government to be a Chinese spy. In a court ruling on Thursday, it was disclosed that the businessman, known only as H6, had been banned from Britain on national security grounds because authorities suspected he was working clandestinely for Beijing to force close contacts with prominent British figures. The Mirror reported that King Charles had been briefed by MI5 and was truly exasperated by the situation. Now, it is very clear that someone is out to get Andrew one way or another. I mean, wow. First it was, if you don't do certain maintenance on your home, you are out. Then it was, okay, no more security at your home. And then, okay, you're not getting any more money from the privy purse or the sovereign grant, not even a pension for the 19 years you served the monarchy. And now this. Well, if you're the son of a monarch, the sovereign, a prime minister or president or even a celebrity, or even the daughter of one of those, it is very tricky and difficult to maneuver around who may be out to use you for some devious means and who's actually just a potential business partner or who really just want to be friends. Potentially, everyone could be out to try and reap some kind of benefit from knowing you, and Andrew is no exception. In the series I'm doing, you will hear this kind of thing a few times, and we also heard of other high-ups of prominent people's sons and daughters who had been caught and manipulated into relationships, be it business and or personal, which maybe they should have stayed far, far away from. I mean, we have old Harry and all of his some not so stellar associates. We have Princess Martha Louise of Norway, who married that shaman, and many, many other examples. And before you say, oh, but what is wrong with a second or third child, that they always get themselves into these situations? No, no, no. It is purely because the first in line to the throne, or the more famous or more prominent child, or the one who's going to inherit the millions, etc., are just better protected, and their mistakes or indiscretions are swept under the rug. I mean, do I really need to remind one and all about King Charles, or then Prince Charles's liaison, business and friendship with the Chinese Bruno Wang, who is or was a wanted man in Taiwan? Shall we just forget that there's a plaque at Dumfries House stating that the Health and Wellness Centre at Dumfries House was made possible by the generosity of the Wang Foundation? All while Bruno Wang was a wanted man for money laundering and being a fugitive from justice. And of course he wasn't the only deviant Charles had friendships with, was he? Yet each time it was a matter of, oh, poor Charles had been duped and lied to, or no one warned him. BS, BS, BS times 100. Charles knew there were horrible allegations about Savile. Numerous complaints were made against him, but none went so far as to go to court. And why? Well, straight up because of his good relationship with Margaret Thatcher and his close relationship with King Charles. I can honestly tell you that there are indications that at least one or maybe two charges against Savile was made to go away, vanish, disappear because of the interference of someone of influence. To date, the rumour was that this was a bigwig from BBC or even maybe from Parliament, but no one has been named ever. So it could have been anyone, including Charles. Never mind, back to Andrew. I'll look into it further, but so far I've not found information about when Andrew was supposedly close to this Chinese man H6. And I mean, why not name H6? If H6 is guilty or found guilty of what he was accused of, then name him. You see, that is something I find very strange about British culture. No matter what happens, it's always downplayed or ignored or swept under the rug. It's always nothing to see here, bye, look the other way, unless or until you piss them off. Then they are like a dog with a bone. They will not leave it alone. And I think it is what is happening with Andrew right now. I'm sure that Andrew came across honest, decent people in his lifetime and job, but like his brother and as the son of a monarch, he also attracted the sly and the devious, the users and abusers, and like his brother, they got caught in a few traps, or maybe they were not caught, but fell for the proverbial carrot of money and lots of it. What really gets me steamed, though, is the hypocrisy. What's good for the goose should be good for the gander. If you want to investigate Andrew, good, do it. But then investigate Charles as well, king or not. He wasn't king when he was friendly with Savile, Van der Post, Ball, Bruno Wang, Dr. Bin Mafus, and others. If they are both innocent, cool. But if they are both guilty, then do to the one what you do to the other, even if the one has to, in the process, abdicate. It won't be the first time in the history of Europe. It is not about rank. It is about human rights. And although some people do not wish to accept it, Charles is as much human as Andrew. They came from the same parents and household, at least as far as we know. Another thing, you guys who are really under the impression that Charles is the most innocent, lovely man who will never sell his brother short, what you should consider is, in this one article, it states that King Charles had a meeting with MI5 and that he was totally exasperated with his brother. Now I ask you, if this happened within the walls of, say, Buckingham Palace, then how on God's earth could a journalist know what King Charles felt or what he said? Well, I will tell you, because it all came from Buckingham Palace. All of it. Also, Andrew, unlike his brother, was not briefed on every person he met and spoke to, although like in the cases of Savile, Ball and Dr. Bin Mafuz, he was indeed warned, but chose to ignore the advice. But Andrew was to a large extent a free agent. The further down the totem pole he moved, the freer he became to talk to and associate with whom he pleased. Actually, Dominic Grieve, the former Attorney General, says that he advised the Tories to criminalise foreign agents in 2019, but they failed to act and to tighten security laws. And according to Dominic Grieve, had they listened to him, it would have prevented the alleged Chinese spy from targeting Prince Andrew. Andrew Loney, an author, also said a very true thing. After being threatened to lose his home, having his security removed, and lately also his income from the Privy Purse, Andrew now only has the £20,000 annual pension from the Royal Navy, and that makes him even more vulnerable to such approaches. According to Loney, several royals have been compromised by the Chinese. Loney did not name names, but remember how Keir Starmer recently said that the United Kingdom needs a strong UK-China relationship. And allegedly, the same alleged Chinese spy also met with David Cameron and Theresa May on separate occasions. So I ask you, if a businessman had dealings with the United Kingdom's prominent politicians, why would Andrew not meet with him? I mean, he comes with credentials. Well, I mean, on that note, I truly rest my case. Now look, please understand that I'm not advocating for Andrew. If he's a jerk, he's a jerk. But I think, like we now have with the drone situation, people have been lied to and manipulated long enough. What is good for one is good for another, no matter who you are. I hate people being exploited, manipulated, and taken advantage of. And at this point, I think it is time for what I call clean leadership, which to me means honesty and transparency. So as far as the royal family goes, for instance, it's time, I think, for William to step up to the throne. Unfortunately, Charles has way too much baggage, and with his illness, there's no way he can fight his way back to popularity. And even when it comes to William, if he cannot promise a clean monarchy, then pass it on to Edward. But somehow they, the monarchy, need to regain some decency and respect. And not only from sycophants, but from all who used to adore everything about the fairy tale of kings and queens, princesses and princes. William currently looks like a wonderful candidate. So let's hope he'll perform even better than expected. Okay, guys and girls, that's it from me for now. I'll be back as soon as I can. So until then, enjoy your holiday period if you are on holiday. Stay strong if you're still working. And most of all, stay safe. Bye.